Have you ever felt the deep, undeniable sting of loneliness, or wondered if aging truly means the end of connection and purpose? As we grow older, many of us cling to the comforts of simpler answers, avoiding the tough, life-altering truths that come with time. But what if I told you that some of the harshest realities, when faced head-on, are not only life-changing but also liberating? What if embracing these truths could transform your entire perspective on aging, relationships, and life itself? In this video, we will uncover 8 powerful truths that most of us shy away from, but need to face in order to find true peace, fulfillment, and wisdom in our later years. From the shocking realization that loneliness can be a conscious choice, to the painful truth about unreciprocated care, these revelations will reshape how you view life, love, and time itself. By the end of this video, you might find yourself embracing your golden years with renewed clarity and purpose. Each truth is more profound and piercing than the last, inviting you to step away from the comfort of denial and into the light of true self-awareness. These aren't just lessons for the elderly, they are powerful gifts for anyone who wants to grasp the fleeting beauty of time and the profound richness that can only come from embracing the realities of life as they are. Stick with us, and by the end of this reflection, you may see the world and yourself in an entirely new light. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I encourage you to click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoy the content, please comment 1 below. If it doesn't resonate with you, leave a 0. Your feedback is crucial as it helps me create better videos that align with your interests. Now, let's get started. As the years unfold, many cling to comfort and the simplicity of easy answers, avoiding the deeper truths that shape our existence. Yet, these truths do not arrive quietly or gently. They burst into our lives, carrying with them a shock that pierces the soul, but over time, they transform into a force of wisdom, opening our eyes to what truly holds value as we age. These truths are not whispers of consolation, but bold declarations that demand we confront the essence of our being. The first truth may strike with a bitter sting, yet it carries within it the seeds of profound liberation. What many label as the curse of loneliness is, in reality, a conscious and powerful choice. When we dare to face the second truth about the illusions and expectations we cling to in relationships, we uncover revelation. Some mistakes are not just missteps but burdens we must rectify, no matter how searing the process. Prepare yourself for a journey unlike any other, a voyage that challenges your perceptions, dismantles your comforts, and reshapes your soul. These 8 truths, each more profound and piercing than the last, are the kind that most shy away from because their weight is too much to bear. Yet, for those brave enough to accept them, these truths carry the potential to transform not just old age but every phase of life. By the time you reach the end of this reflection, you may find yourself forever changed, realizing that these truths are not merely lessons for the elderly but gifts of clarity and depth for anyone yearning to grasp the fleeting beauty and gravity of the time they have. The first truth, one of the most difficult to embrace, is that loneliness in old age is not necessarily an imposed sentence, but rather a deliberate choice that reflects profound inner freedom. As the years slip by, many discover themselves surrounded by an aching silence. Children carve out their own paths, friends fade into memories, and the rhythms of life shift, erasing the routines that once kept us connected to others. This solitude, at first glance, feels heavy, even unbearable. Society has conditioned us to fear it, teaching us to equate constant companionship with happiness and to anchor our emotional stability in the presence of others. But there is another side to loneliness, one that emerges only when we summon the courage to face it head-on. Loneliness, stripped of its negative connotations, becomes a sanctuary, a space where self-reflection blooms. Without the endless distractions of youth and the relentless obligations of adulthood, old age offers a rare opportunity to rediscover oneself. In the quiet, we confront the person we are at our core, unmasked by the roles we have played for others. For many, this process is unsettling. To sit in silence with one's own thoughts is to face fears, regrets, and longings that have been buried beneath the noise of life. Yet, it is also an invitation to healing, growth, and self-love. This solitude, far from being a void, is a sacred space. It is where forgotten passions can be reignited, new interests explored, and a deeper connection with one's soul nurtured. In embracing this space, we find a kind of peace that transcends the fleeting joys of external validation. We learn that our worth is not defined by the company we keep, but by the relationship we build with ourselves. Loneliness, when reframed, is not a burden but a gift, a chance to reshape our narrative, to see life through a lens unclouded by the expectations of others. It is in these quiet moments that we rediscover the richness of being alive, crafting a vision of our existence that is uniquely and unapologetically ours. The freedom that emerges in solitude is nothing short of transformative. It is not simply a fleeting moment of reflection, but a profound awakening, a force that reshapes the soul and invites the kind of introspection that few phases of life can offer. This newfound freedom, however, is not handed over easily. It demands uncommon courage to face, let alone embrace. Many who enter this stage of life feel the initial pangs of discomfort, even fear, as they confront the quiet spaces left by the absence of others. Yet, within these spaces lies an extraordinary gift, a chance, perhaps for the first time, to make choices that are wholly and unapologetically their own, unburdened by the expectations of others. This is more than self-acceptance. It is an act of radical self-love. It is a reclaiming of identity, a return to the essence of who we are beneath the layers of roles, responsibilities, and societal demands. Loneliness, often painted as a punishment or a cruel twist of fate, transforms into something entirely different when seen through this lens. It becomes a gateway, a passage into a new kind of freedom that transcends the boundaries of age and circumstance. This freedom is not merely about existing alone, but about existing authentically, stripped of pretense and adorned with every imperfection and nuance that makes a person whole. It is the freedom to find joy in solitude, to see oneself not as incomplete without others, but as a complete and unique individual. This liberation carries an unshakable power, offering a serenity so profound it feels as though the very universe has stilled in acknowledgement of it. For many, this truth does not come easily. It arrives like a storm, uprooting long-held beliefs and challenging deeply ingrained fears. The silence of solitude, once viewed as threatening, begins to whisper truths that were previously drowned out by the noise of life. And as these truths take root, they offer a kind of peace so pure it is almost unimaginable. A peace that allows for self-discovery, for the rekindling of passions, and for the quiet contentment of simply being. This is the essence of the first truth. Loneliness is not an inevitable sentence but a choice, a conscious act of reclaiming one's freedom and embracing the fullness of who they are. But this is only the beginning. The second truth, equally challenging, demands that we confront the ever-changing nature of relationships. In old age, the dynamics of human connection shift dramatically. The once familiar and unshakable circle of companions, family, and confidants, a foundation that seems solid as stone, begins to crumble, shift, or drift away. It is a delicate and often painful truth. Many of the connections we hold dear are not eternal. They are shaped, more often than not, by circumstance rather than an unyielding bond of mutual affinity. This realization cuts deep, for we are taught to view relationships as permanent fixtures in the tapestry of our lives. We believe that bonds formed over years, even decades, are immune to the ravages of time and the changing tides of life. Yet, as the years pass, the truth emerges. Life is impermanent, and so too are many of the people who share it with us. Friends may move on, family members may grow distant, and some relationships may fade into the background, not out of malice but as a natural consequence of life's ebb and flow. This truth is often resisted with all the strength we can muster, for it demands that we let go of the comforting illusion of permanence. And yet, within this painful truth lies an opportunity, a chance to reevaluate and rediscover the relationships that truly matter. In old age, the value of connection is no longer measured by quantity but by quality. The superficial bonds that once filled the spaces in our lives begin to lose their appeal. What emerges in their place is a hunger for depth, for authenticity, for connections that nurture the soul and withstand the test of time. The friends who remain, the ones who weather life's storms and stand by us through the darkest of days, become treasures beyond measure. They are not just companions, they are mirrors reflecting our truest selves, reminding us of who we are and who we can be. At the same time, this new clarity brings with it a painful but necessary realization. Some relationships must be released. Those that no longer bring reciprocity, growth, or joy must be let go, not out of bitterness but as an act of self-respect and preservation. This process is not easy. It requires the courage to face difficult truths and make decisions that honor one's well-being. But it is through this pruning of relationships that the soul begins to flourish. By choosing to surround oneself only with those who truly matter, those who see and value the essence of who we are, life becomes not lonelier but richer. This newfound wisdom reshapes the very concept of loneliness. It becomes clear that solitude is not the absence of connection, but a conscious choice to prioritize meaningful connections over superficial ones. It is not a void but a sanctuary, a space where the soul can breathe, grow, and rediscover its strength. In this space, the relationships that remain take on a new significance. They are not obligations but affirmations of love, trust, and authenticity. They are the proof that, even as life changes, some bonds are worth holding on to, not because of what they once were but because of what they have become. If you are still watching this video, and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. And so, the journey of aging becomes not a story of loss but a celebration of freedom, authenticity, and the power of choice. It is a time to redefine what it means to be connected, to find joy in the simplicity of meaningful relationships, and to embrace the solitude that allows for self-discovery. In this stage of life, every moment becomes an opportunity to live with intention, to honor the connections that matter, and to find peace in the beauty of simply being. This process of refining relationships profoundly reshapes how companionship is perceived and experienced, offering a newfound clarity that prioritizes meaning over mere presence. It is no longer about the quantity of relationships but the quality, depth, and authenticity of those connections that remain. For many older adults, this realization emerges slowly, often through the painful lessons of change, distance, or loss. Yet, it is through these experiences that they learn a critical truth. Clinging to relationships that have lost their essence serves only to sap emotional energy and hinder personal growth. There is a profound liberation in the decision to let go of what no longer nourishes the heart, to release the weight of connections that have become obligations rather than joys. Instead of holding tightly to relationships that may have once been meaningful but no longer serve a positive role, older adults begin to focus on surrounding themselves with a select few who truly matter, those whose presence enriches life, whose support is unwavering, and whose understanding is genuine. These cherished relationships are built not on convenience or proximity but on mutual respect, shared values, and the willingness to show up for one another through life's trials. This shift invites an unparalleled authenticity and a liberating kind of emotional freedom, a freedom that comes only with the acceptance that not all bonds are meant to last forever. Far from diminishing their value, this impermanence makes those connections that endure even more precious. Though it can feel harsh to accept, this truth ultimately brings a sense of peace and fulfillment that far outweighs the sorrow of letting go. The relationships that remain are not just companions on life's journey, they become anchors, grounding us in the essence of what truly matters. Yet, this truth is only one of the profound realities that aging unveils. The third truth strikes at the heart of existence itself, touching on the undeniable reality of physical decline. It is a truth that most resist fiercely, for it challenges the core of what many believe defines independence and vitality. The body, once a vessel of strength and autonomy, no longer responds as it once did. This truth requires a fundamental shift in how one approaches the world and their place within it. For much of life, physical vitality is taken for granted. The ability to move freely, act independently, and pursue ambitions without hesitation is an unspoken constant. But as the years progress, limitations emerge, sometimes subtly, other times abruptly, that challenge even the most active and resilient individuals. Accepting this reality often feels like an uphill battle, one fraught with frustration and a deep sense of loss. The mind, unyielding in its desires, struggles to reconcile with a body that imposes new boundaries. This conflict can be particularly difficult for those who once reveled in vigor and independence. The gradual erosion of physical capabilities is not merely an inconvenience, it is a profound emotional and psychological challenge. It forces individuals to confront their mortality and re-evaluate their sense of self in a world that often equates worth with productivity and physical ability. Yet, within this struggle lies an opportunity for growth and adaptation that can lead to a deeper sense of self-awareness and peace. The wisdom of aging is not found in resisting these changes, but in embracing them with grace and understanding. This new phase of life demands a different kind of respect for the body, one rooted in compassion rather than defiance. It calls for a shift in perspective, a willingness to listen to what the body needs rather than impose what the mind wants. Fighting against these limitations, striving to maintain the unrelenting pace of youth, often leads to disappointment, frustration, and unnecessary pain. True wisdom lies in learning to live in harmony with the body, to honor its needs, and to adapt to its evolving capabilities. Accepting physical limitations does not mean surrendering or giving up. It is instead an invitation to live more consciously, with greater care and intentionality. This stage of life offers a unique opportunity to forge a deeper connection with the body, one that is characterized by gentleness, gratitude, and respect. Activities that once defined vitality, high-intensity sports, relentless schedules, and overexertion, can be replaced with practices that prioritize balance, well-being, and inner peace. The energy once spent on intense pursuits can be redirected to endeavors that nurture both the body and soul, such as leisurely walks in nature, yoga, meditation, or exploring new hobbies that align with the body's current reality. This shift is not a loss but a transformation. It invites a kind of presence and mindfulness that is often overlooked in the rush of earlier years. Every moment becomes more intentional, every movement more deliberate, and the simple act of being in the world takes on new meaning. In embracing these changes, individuals discover not only acceptance but also a renewed appreciation for life itself. They learn that while the body may impose limits, the spirit remains boundless, capable of joy, connection, and discovery in ways that transcend physicality. This third truth, then, is not solely about decline. It is about recalibration and rediscovery. It is about recognizing that life continues to hold infinite possibilities, even within the constraints of an aging body. It is about finding new ways to thrive, to connect, and to celebrate the profound beauty of being alive. Far from being a defeat, this stage of life becomes a powerful reminder that adaptability, resilience, and self-compassion are among the greatest strengths we possess. By embracing this truth, individuals open themselves to a life not diminished by age but enriched by the unique wisdom, grace, and perspective that only the passage of time can provide. This process of acceptance is not a defeat but a profound victory, a triumph of understanding both the passage of time and the depths of oneself. Those who come to terms with the limitations of age often find a new way to live fully, one that prioritizes the richness of experiences over the sheer volume of activities. By embracing physical changes with serenity, something immeasurably valuable is gained, a fresh perspective on what truly matters in life. No longer tethered to the fleeting measures of productivity or external validation, the focus shifts to savoring the quality of each moment. This truth, though initially accompanied by pain and resistance, ultimately brings an unexpected and profound peace. It reveals a contentment that is no longer derived from physical strength or external achievements, but from a reservoir of inner strength, a quiet, steadfast power that only those who journey through this transformative process can fully comprehend. The fourth truth, often avoided and rarely discussed, is one of the most challenging to navigate: the shifting tides of social relevance. As the years go by, the roles that once defined an individual's place in the world begin to evolve or fade entirely. During the prime of youth and adulthood, people grow accustomed to being needed, at work, within the family, among friends, and in their communities. These roles provide purpose and a sense of indispensability, reinforcing their value in the larger tapestry of life. But with age, these roles often diminish. Professional responsibilities are relinquished, familial dynamics shift as children grow independent, and the frequency of social interactions wanes. The feeling of being indispensable begins to fade, leaving in its place an unsettling void. If you are still watching this video, and find these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. This change can bring about a deep sense of loss and emptiness. The absence of societal relevance, coupled with the realization that one's contributions are no longer as sought after, can feel like a stark reminder of life's impermanence. Yet, hidden within this emotional challenge lies a transformative opportunity. This phase offers a unique chance to redefine personal value, no longer tied to roles, titles, or external obligations. It is an invitation to look inward, to discover meaning that originates not from external validation but from the core of one's own being. Many older adults find that this is the moment to finally pursue what they have always yearned for but set aside in the name of responsibility. Whether it's a passion, a long-held dream, or simply the joy of living without constraints. Freed from the demands of being indispensable, they can explore hobbies, deepen spiritual practices, or cultivate meaningful relationships with a new sense of purpose. The loss of social relevance transforms into a powerful opening for newfound autonomy. This freedom, while difficult to embrace initially, becomes a gateway to living authentically and with intention. No longer burdened by the need to please or meet others' expectations, individuals in this phase of life can live for themselves. They discover a rare form of liberty, a freedom that transforms the weight of aging into an opportunity for profound discovery and personal growth. For many, this stage of life turns out to be one of the most meaningful chapters, full of exploration, fulfillment, and the rediscovery of passions long dormant. The fifth truth, equally significant yet perhaps even more sobering, is the realization that time itself becomes increasingly valuable. In youth, time stretches endlessly before us, a vast horizon filled with opportunities to postpone plans, dreams, and even important relationships. The illusion of infinite time allows for procrastination and the comforting belief that there will always be someday. But with age, this illusion shatters. The finite nature of time becomes starkly apparent, transforming every moment into something precious and irreplaceable. This shift in perception is both distressing and empowering. It introduces a silent urgency, a pressing awareness that life's clock is ticking faster. Each day, hour, and minute feels weighted with significance, urging us to focus on what truly matters. While this awareness can initially evoke regret or longing for what might have been, it also serves as a powerful catalyst for change. The recognition of time's value encourages individuals to live more fully, to be present in ways they might not have been before. Many older adults discover that instead of mourning the opportunities that have passed, it is far more rewarding to focus on what remains possible. This mindset shift fosters a sense of gratitude and determination, inspiring them to embrace the richness of the here and now. Time, once taken for granted, becomes a gift to be cherished rather than squandered. The urgency of finite time prompts boldness, encouraging people to pursue long-held dreams, repair fractured relationships, and prioritize joy. This newfound relationship with time also brings clarity to priorities. Activities that once felt urgent or essential may now seem trivial, while moments of connection, reflection, and self-expression take center stage. The brevity of time sharpens the focus on living authentically, stripping away the superficial and leaving behind only what is deeply meaningful. The fifth truth, though challenging to face, ultimately brings a profound sense of purpose. It reminds us that life is not measured by its length, but by the depth of how it is lived. Together, these truths, accepting the limitations of the body, navigating the evolution of relationships, confronting the changing nature of social relevance, and embracing the value of time, paint a picture of aging that is not a decline but a transformation. They challenge us to let go of what no longer serves us, to embrace the present with courage, and to find beauty in the wisdom that comes only with time. Each truth, though difficult, carries the potential for liberation and joy, turning the later years of life into a journey of growth, meaning, and profound self-discovery. This means shifting focus to what truly matters, prioritizing genuine connections, pursuing achievable desires, and, above all, embracing the present moment with a depth and richness rarely possible during the hurried years of youth. Each day becomes an opportunity to live deliberately, savoring the beauty of simplicity and letting go of the trivial worries that once loomed so large. This truth brings a profound transformation, fostering a sense of peace and gratitude that permeates every aspect of life. The urgency of time is no longer a source of anxiety but a gentle and persistent reminder to cherish the present moment, to see it as a gift rather than a fleeting interval between responsibilities. For many, this shift in mindset imbues time with an almost sacred quality, making every moment feel infinitely more valuable. Time is no longer something to be measured or managed. It becomes something to be deeply felt and fully embraced. Simple moments, such as sharing a conversation with a loved one, enjoying a quiet walk in the sunlight, or simply breathing in the stillness of the world, take on new meaning. In this way, old age is transformed from a phase of inevitable decline into a chapter rich with intention and purpose. Life slows, but it deepens, revealing layers of meaning that often go unnoticed in the rush of earlier years. The sixth truth, however, introduces a challenging reality. People are not always ready, or able, to reciprocate the care and attention they receive. This is perhaps one of the most emotionally difficult lessons to confront, particularly in old age when expectations of reciprocity often take on heightened significance. After a lifetime spent nurturing relationships, offering advice, and supporting loved ones, it is natural to hope, perhaps even assume, that these efforts will be returned with affection, gratitude, and presence. Yet, the reality can be starkly different. Many older adults find themselves disappointed, even heartbroken, as they realize that the relationships they carefully tended may not yield the support or recognition they had envisioned. This truth cuts deeply because it challenges the very foundation of how we understand love and connection. To give of oneself, only to find that others may not, or cannot, give back in the same way, can feel like a betrayal of the trust and effort invested in those relationships. Yet, within this pain lies an opportunity for profound growth and understanding. It is an invitation to reassess the nature of love, to separate the act of giving from the expectation of receiving. The value of love and care does not lie solely in their return, but in the purity and generosity of the act itself. As older adults come to terms with this reality, they often experience a shift in how they approach relationships. The emphasis moves from transactional reciprocity to unconditional giving. People may not always meet expectations, but that does not diminish the value of what was offered. Love and care, when given freely, become expressions of one's inner richness and capacity for empathy. By letting go of the need for validation or equal exchange, individuals free themselves from the emotional dependence that often accompanies unmet expectations. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. This freedom allows affection to be experienced in a new and liberating way. It becomes less about external acknowledgement and more about internal expression, a way of honoring one's capacity to love without strings attached. Relationships in this light are no longer weighed down by the burden of expectation, but are appreciated for what they are. Each connection becomes an opportunity to share, to support, and to express gratitude for life itself, independent of any reciprocation. This perspective not only transforms how affection is given but also how it is received, creating relationships that are lighter, freer, and more authentic. The seventh truth, one of the most profound and yet most resisted, is the necessity of forgiveness in old age. Over the years, life invariably accumulates its share of disappointments, betrayals, and unresolved conflicts. These emotional wounds, whether inflicted by others or by oneself, often linger as silent burdens, shaping perceptions and influencing behavior. For much of life, these feelings may even seem justified, serving as a protective shield or a source of motivation. But as the years pass, they become heavier, limiting the ability to fully experience peace and joy in the present. At a certain point, the weight of these emotional burdens becomes unbearable, and forgiveness emerges as the only path to true freedom. Forgiveness, however, is not a simple or passive act. It requires courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to confront pain head-on. It does not mean forgetting or condoning the wrongs that have been done. Instead, it is about releasing the hold that those memories have over the present. It is an act of liberation, a decision to free oneself from the cycle of pain and resentment. This journey toward forgiveness is deeply personal and often challenging. For many, the hardest person to forgive is oneself. Regrets about past choices, missed opportunities, and perceived failures can cast long shadows, eroding self-esteem and fostering a sense of unworthiness. But with age comes the wisdom to see these regrets in a new light, not as indictments of character but as natural parts of the human experience. Forgiving oneself is an act of profound self-compassion, a recognition that imperfection is not a flaw but a fundamental aspect of being human. Forgiveness also extends outward, to those who have caused pain or disappointment. This can be particularly difficult when the wounds run deep or remain unresolved. But forgiveness is not about excusing others' actions. It is about reclaiming one's power to move forward unencumbered. By choosing to forgive, individuals release the grip of past hurts, making space for healing and growth. Forgiveness becomes an act of strength, a way to assert control over one's emotional landscape and prioritize inner peace. The process of forgiveness transforms old age into a time of renewal. It allows individuals to unburden themselves of the past and fully embrace the present. It is not an easy path, but it is a necessary one, leading to a lightness of being that can only come from letting go. In this way, the seventh truth becomes a gateway to serenity, a reminder that no matter how heavy the past, the future remains open to possibility, healing, and joy. Through forgiveness, old age becomes not an end but a beginning, a time to rediscover the beauty of life unencumbered by the weight of what has been. So, what have you learned so far? How have these truths reshaped your view of aging, relationships, and the essence of self-discovery? Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned today that you'll carry with you into your own life. We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. By subscribing, you'll ensure you never miss out on these thought-provoking reflections and insights that help guide you toward a deeper, more meaningful life.